Hello, hello. I'm delighted to welcome Ashley, who's based in Ontario in Canada, to this International Women's Day stroke week series. Ashley is on Instagram and she amuses me daily with all her amazing reels and her TikToks as the conscious co-parent as well, and as a big supporter of having a good co-parenting relationship moving forward, which is something that really appeals to me as well. So I just want to say, if you don't mind me saying, you're in your 30s as well, so like love seeing such positive attitudes towards what you're going through as well. So thank you as well for shining your light, which is amazing. You are also pleasure training to be a divorce coach as well, which is just fantastic and supports all the great work and inspirational stuff you put out on Instagram anyway. And it was really lovely. I just reached out to this lovely lady about 2 days ago thinking, I know she's going to step up, and you did with so little time. We've never spoken to each other until about a couple of minutes before we recorded. I'm so pleased I asked you to be in this series, so thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. And if I could just, I appreciate that. And certainly, I'm happy to be a person who is able to jump in and say, yes, let's do it. But I just want to do a very quick, brief shout out to my partner because I've got so much on the go right now. I work, I've got school as I'm training to become this coach. I have, my daughter who we have, 95% of the time. Yeah, I couldn't do all of these extras. Or I would find a way, but it would be so much more challenging. So just to have him as an equal, I consider us equals in our partnership. And I just think he deserves a little hoorah for that.
Shout out. We like
Yes.
that as well, because I think it's really important, because although, it's the sort of International Women's Day, stroke week, whatever, that we're celebrating, it's also that the support of good men as well. And I think that's really important that men are acknowledged as well for their contribution.
Yes.
To helping us be, better women as well, and supporting us in our, our journey, which is as we do then. So lovely. I'm really pleased you did that. That's really lovely. Thank you. So very quickly, my 2 questions I'm kind of asking everybody as well after, who you are and what you do.
Yes.
Is, why do you love women?
There are many reasons why I love women. I think I love women more now that I'm a mother than I ever did before. I grew up in the car business. I worked in the car business for almost 10 years. And so I've had a lot of male friends and male relationships. And it wasn't until I became a mom that I kind of discovered this like underground community. It's not underground, but until you're in, you maybe don't experience it. And I know there's still there can still be quite a bit of judgment, especially in the online space for things, like breastfeeding versus formula. It can still, women can clash, but for the most part, women just have a way of supporting each other through motherhood that I find incredible. One time I was walking down the street pushing my daughter in her stroller, and she was losing it. Like, she was just screaming her little lungs off, and I couldn't get her to stop. And another mom was walking by and was like, I've been there, girl. It's okay.
Because that is one of the potential kind of hot spots. I remember having mine, and occasionally somebody would just walk past and give you that look like you're a bad mother, and you're like, come on, sister, come on, where is, like, we need the support for this. How lovely. And
that just I just needed that. I didn't need advice. I didn't need anything. I just needed someone to say like, it's okay. You know, sometimes kids, we love them, but sometimes they're little shits and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you've done all the right things. You packed as many snacks as you thought you needed. And it just went off the rails. And just, you know, the way that we can kind of lift each other up. I hope to see even more of that in years to come. Because I think it's a really powerful, special thing.
Yeah, it is. And they say, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. And it really, you just need to know that, you know, it's a bit like divorce. I guess there's no sort of blueprint because everybody's so different. And
Yeah.
children are so different when they, you know, whatever they decide to be when they come in as good sleepers or whatever. And I think it's, it's, I think, to remember less judgment about what's going on, because we actually don't know what's happening in people's lives.
Right.
Whatever's happening, you know, we don't know that the mum walking down the street has got stuff going on, maybe with parents or partner or
Yes.
the dad and all
Yeah.
sorts. And it's it's always lovely to be able to give somebody a smile whether they take it or not, and just kind of leave it with them.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just the you know, the ability to have all of that compassion and patience and forgiveness and understanding. I know, not to say that men don't have that as well, but there's a certain piece, I think, when you become a mom that, you know, it gives you something extra.
Yeah, totally. And how's your daughter now?
She's 2.5.
So you're kind of in it, aren't you?
I'm right in the middle. Yeah, we're just chugging along.
Whatever the day is, whatever's going to come up on the walk today. I always remember from that time that it can take a really long time to walk anywhere, and especially when they want to get out their stroller and they're just looking at everything. And normally they pick up all the bad stuff on the street as well, like the bit of gum or something.
Oh, always garbage. Yeah, the grossest thing. Yeah, 100%. But you know what's cool is like I see her and her like curiosity for the world, and somehow we lose that as we kind of, you know, mature and stuff. But it's such an important thing to just be curious about the world and open-minded. And so yeah, I'm learning from her as we go.
I think that's lovely. I think that's really lovely. You make such an important point as well. It's about seeing the world through sort of childlike eyes.
Yeah.
And to actually be more childlike and not be so serious all the time, I think is really important.
Yes, that's why I love TikTok so much.
Yeah. There we go. Another reason why I need to get sorted maybe on it. Okay, so if you were to share a life tip for women, what would you share today?
This is a hard question to answer, but I've given it some thought, and I think what I would say would be to ask for what you need and to not be apologetic when you're asking for what you need. I've spent basically my whole life until very recently and kind of, you know, transitioning through the separation and divorce where I didn't clearly ask for what I needed in most of my relationships, even outside of romantic partnerships, you know, with other family members, with coworkers. And now that I'm doing a better job of setting boundaries and asking for my needs, I still have a hard time asking for it without following up with like, if you can't do it, it's okay, or I'm sorry to ask. And, you know, we don't have to do that. And I think you can just live like a way more peaceful, content life if you're unapologetic about the things you need.
Yeah, I agree. So and actually I love this because we haven't had this before, this tip. So all these amazing tips that have been coming through since I've been recording you're absolutely right, because we do feel, I think for women in particularly, you know, it's very hard to ask for help, and and we don't, a lot of women just don't believe they deserve the help. You know, we just sort of seem to get on with it, and we just seem to spin those plates. And it's actually okay to say, you know, can you take some of these plates away so I can spin the ones I really need to really well? So.
Yes. Yeah. Just because we can, multitask and do all of these things doesn't mean that we have to, or that we even should be, for our
Yeah.
own mental health. And especially, as things have progressed with COVID, and here we have a lot of, students, we're doing a lot of online learning, and my daughter stayed in daycare, luckily, but like, I can't imagine the balance of work, helping your kid do, you're essentially their
Homeschool.
teacher, the homeschooling, like all of this. And I think, wow, it's amazing that we can do it, but should we
Yeah.
be doing it?
Mm,
So yeah.
thank you. I look forward to watching you in the future. Thank you so much for being part of this, and have a lovely rest of your Sunday.
Oh, thank
Thank
you
you.
so
It
much,
was
my
lovely to
love.
meet you as well. Really lovely
Yeah,
to meet
lovely to
you.
meet you too. And I can't wait to watch this series. It's going to be great.
It's going to be lovely this week. So
Yeah.
I'll tag you in, and we'll go from there. Thank
Lovely.
you.
Thank you
Lovely to
again.
talk to you. Bye.
Okay, bye.